inspired me to be a producer? Producer rapper or just producer?
Let's talk producer.
Okay, my influences on production were Marley Marl, of course, the great Marley Marl, 45 King, Jazzy J, he's the one who puts me on and taught me the art of production, 45 King, Prince Paul. I would say those are my heroes growing up. I was a DJ, but I listened to all of their productions, and at the time, of course, I didn't own a sampler, but those were the legends that I looked up to. What confirmed it for me was I was in a session. I had a little bit of time left over, and I recorded Best Kept Secret. And at the time, I was producing an artist named Joe Control from out of the Bronx. He had a demo deal with Chemistry Records at the time. And what happened was we were called down to the label for a meeting. So I'm thinking I'm going there, to sell these beats, because that was, that's all I lived for, just to produce. And when I get down there, I had Ron doing one of the demos. And the A&R there, his name is Brian Chin, formerly of Priority Records. Brian Chin said, yo, we like what you're doing, and we want to offer you a deal. And I'm sitting there like, yo, I'm here because, my man right here, I'm supposed to be doing his joints. And Brian was like, listen, we heard you rhyme on the demo. We also like the demo you made, Best Kept Secret. It was just a fluke. I recorded Best Kept Secret. I had some leftover time in the studio. And I'm a lab rat, basically, so I use up all my time. And that's what led to me creating Stunts Busting Hip Hop and ultimately getting signed over there. We were all friends. Myself, Lord Finesse, Q-Tip, Lord Professor, Pete Rock, Buck Wild. In fact, we would all get up some mornings and we would all meet downtown in Midtown at the Roosevelt Hotel. The Roosevelt Hotel, they used to have record conventions. Just a big ballroom, and you have different dealers selling vinyl, selling old records. And we would be in there, looking for the perfect beat, if you will. And it was competitive, but we would help each other too. It was nothing to say to somebody, yo, you got this album? Or somebody turn you on to something. So it was a friendly competitiveness. It was never nasty. In hindsight, we all pushed each other. And that was the good thing about that time period. Oh man, good vibes of Brand Nubians. Starting with the track Show Business, which appeared on Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory album. All three of us rhymed on that album. So that was the start. And then from that came A Day in the Life, which was on my first album, Stunts Busting Hip Hop. And after Day in the Life, that led to Punk Jump Up to Get Beat Down. So, it's like one thing led to another, led to another. But, that was one of my favorite groups to work with, Brand Nubians. The Score, the Fugees, classic. I was proud to be a part of that also. That's what got me my Grammy. Shouts out to the Fugees. Just to name a few people that I've worked with. Wow. Brand Nubians, The Alcoholics, of course Busta Rhymes, Pharoah Monch, Mos Def, Queen Latifah. It's a lot, Being a producer, it's not just being prolific and being nice with your craft. You also have to be a people person. Cause nobody wants to work with an asshole, no matter how good your beats are. You treat people the way you want to be treated, and it'll be reciprocated in most cases. So I always carried myself like that. Like I said, it's not just the music, it's you. And if you're big-headed or you're arrogant, people don't want to be around that, and it just creates a bad vibe in the studio. So I always try to be, be kind to people and courteous, show up on time, do my job to the best of my abilities, and I'm still here doing what I love. Versatility is the thing. If you're only one-sided, you're going to be limited. What I did with the Brand Nubians is different from what I did for Queen Latifah and Cisco, which is different from what I did from the Fugees, which is different from what I would do with KRS-One. Every artist has their own sound, their own direction. And if you're a good producer, it's your job to bring that out of them musically. So you can't be closed-minded. And you can't think, you can't have the mindset that it's gonna be my way or the highway. Most of my productions were actually collaborations. I just try to take their ideas and transform it musically onto the song. So to me, that's what a good producer does. The new album is called The Rear View. That just dropped last week. I'm super, super proud of that. Proud of that album. I got Westside Gun on there. I always like to work with new artists. I'm always thinking forward. But I also got something classic on there. I got my man Paz the News from De La Soul. My process now in production, I don't force anything. If it doesn't feel good musically or sonically, I just trash it. The beauty of being an independent artist, and I've been on a few major labels, but the beauty of being independent is you have the final say. You don't have to dance with an A&R at a label. You basically have your own direction, and you can take your time with it. That's what I learned. That's what I learned from Dr. Dre when I sat with Dre in his house. Just the whole creative process. You don't have to rush it. You just do it, and the songs that feel good to you, they'll make the cut. The ones that don't, let them go by the side. Let them go by the wayside. How do I feel being honored? Vindicated. You know what I mean? Growing up in my household, my parents supported me, but they wanted me to stay in college. 9 to 5 type thing. And I actually dropped out of college, to do music. I got signed by Jazzy J on Strong City Records back when I was in college. And, having to tell your moms, and your dad, I don't want to go to school no more. I want to pursue music. They were not happy, to say the least. But looking back over 30 years and the mark that I've made, the people that I've influenced, it's an honor. It's an honor to be honored. It's something, as magnificent as hip hop. To create something from nothing, it's all art. And for me to be honored, it's incredible. What do I remember about working with KRS-One? Definitely knows what he wants. He was on time for the sessions. You know what I mean? When I was working with him, I was the little guy. I had a name, but this is KRS-One, one of my heroes. And I'm from the South Bronx, so, he's a hero of mine on another level. But with Chris, I worked on an album called I Got Next, I believe. Either I Got Next or the self-titled album KRS-One. I forget the title, but it was all good vibes. I came in, I laid the track down, and he laid his verse, maybe 1 or 2 takes, not long. He's the master. I enjoyed working with KRS-One immensely. Same thing with Busta, professionalist. Busta might be one of the best artists I've worked with, as far as just the whole vibe, the creative process, knowing what he wants, and he actually pushed me to bring out the best in myself. And one of my folks, well, it's 2 of them. 2 of my most famous productions for Busta was a song called Wife-in-Law that featured Jaheim, and the other one was the Busta Bus remix. So those are the two. I mean, I did other joints for Busta too, but those are the two that stick out to me most. Wife in Law and the Busta Bus remix. Shouts out to my man Busta Drums. Damn, dude's getting old. 50, yo, crazy. I mean, as far as, rock and roll and jazz and all the other genres, hip hop is the baby. But, it's the number one selling genre of music right here. And, me personally, from a little kid going to jams in the South Bronx, I've literally watched hip hop come from park jams where the DJ would steal electricity from the lampposts all the way up to selling out arenas around the world. I've seen it. I was there. Even though I was a little kid, I'm like 8 years old, 9 years old, but living in the South Bronx, I was able to go outside to the parks and see people like Grandmaster Flash, people like Kool Herc, Theodore, who lived in my area, Bambaataa. So just to see the whole game come from that to now influencing the world is incredible. So happy birthday, hip hop, and it's going to be here for a long time. What's up, everybody? My name is Diamond D. I represent the South Bronx, digging in the crates, and I'm here right here on Rock the Bells.